If there's a steak and mushroom pie on the menu at the pub, I always go for it. And I know sometimes they're not the healthiest for you, but Lucy Kelly, food editor of Weight Watchers, is here to show us that it can be when you're cooking it at home. Is that right?
That's right.
Oh,
We've made a few little tweaks to this. We never say you can't have something. You can go out and still enjoy your pub food, and the program is designed to allow for that. But when you want to have a pie at home, here it is.
Okay, so what are we doing
First
first?
thing, we've got some beautiful lean. This is chuck steak, which is the best for making a casserole like this. And we've cut all the fat off, so that's another way of reducing the fat for this kind of a dish.
And when you're making a pie like this, you always use good quality meat. I mean, this one's from Tasmania and it's a grass-fed, which I'm very into my grass-fed at the moment.
Grass-fed has so much more flavour than the grain-fed,
So we've got that no fat on it.
If you can finely dice the onion.
Easy.
And quarter the mushrooms.
Okay.
And I'll cook off the meat.
Okay.
So you just heat a pan up. Can you please pass me the oil spray?
Oil spray, yep.
So just put a bit of oil spray in here. Always spray your pan away from the heat source.
Yeah, we don't want our hair to go on fire.
Because it really does explode.
Or eyebrows, that's happened to me once. Close.
Oh. It's not a good look.
No, it's not.
So you can see this beef is really, it's chuck steak, it cooks down, it goes really tender, and it's got no fat on it. So the meat's done. And the next thing we need to do is cook the onion. You could crush the garlic for me.
Do the garlic.
Here you've got some lovely crunchy bits left on the pan, so they'll go in with the onions and make the onions taste delicious. But it's really important to brown off your meat to get all those beautiful flavours in there.
Yeah. I'm going to get those for you.
Get me those nice little bits.
Look at this teamwork, Lucy.
Yay. And have you got a spoon there, Juzzy?
Yep,
I've got one.
So you've got to make sure you scrape all those lovely
meat juices up.
Caramel bits, yeah. That smells amazing, Lucy. And you can see they're starting to get some nice colour. So that's going to cook for what, about 5 minutes?
Yep, 5 minutes,
and
just till it softens.
Just till it softens, and we're going to add those?
Yes.
Okay, we'll continue on.
They're ready? Pop the mushrooms in.
So loads of mushrooms, because they're going to cook down, aren't they?
They will. And we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of water, and that just helps them soften.
Okay. I love that sound.
So we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of plain flour.
Flour,
which
okay.
we've got there. Sprinkle that on.
And that's the thickening agent, because when you're making a stew, you do put flour anyway, but because we're making a pie, you don't want it to be runny. You want it to be quite thick. So.
No, that'd be lovely. So we can add the meat back in.
Okay.
And the tomato paste.
And see all these little juices down here? That is gold in a stew. We make sure you put all of that in there.
That's right.
It's going to give it flavour, flavour, flavour.
All the meat juices.
Yep.
And the tomato paste
And
can
the
go in.
tomato paste, yes.
And a cup of beef stock.
Okay.
This is a lovely brand of beef stock. I love this. It's a bit more expensive, but I think it's really worth buying good quality ingredients, because it really does add to the flavour of your final dish.
Definitely. In it goes.
In it goes. So all it needs now is a bit of salt and pepper.
Do that.
Don't need too much salt, because you've got salt coming from the stock and the tomato paste.
Okay, so
you've always got to think, you know, what am I putting in here that's from a can or a packet, because it'll always contain a bit of extra salt.
And lots of pepper.
And always just put in a little bit of salt, then you can taste it later. And if it needs more, you can just add some more.
Yeah, because it's going to be cooking for 2 hours.
Well, a couple of hours in the oven. About an hour, hour and a half on the stove.
Okay, and then you can season it again then. So we'll have a taste after an hour and come back and finish off our pie.
Yes.
Okay,
So
Lucy, it's
here it
ready.
is. It's ready, and it's good to just let it cool down a little bit before you cook it. You can make this ahead, the day ahead, which is great.
Yeah. And you can see how rich and glossy it looks, doesn't it?
It's beautiful.
And you were telling me before you sometimes make these and freeze them.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
They're great to freeze. You could put the pastry on everything, and
How great is that for a dinner party? I think there's nothing wrong with having some nice pies at a dinner party.
people love their
With
pies.
some mashed potato and some peas. Very classic. But I mean, having them in the freezer on a Sunday afternoon, cook them, I think it's a great idea.
And it's great if
especially
you
when you're
want
time poor.
A quick family meal for during the week. You make it on the weekend, and then you just do it on Wednesday night or something.
It's a real all-rounder. Oh, it looks great. I'll get you some. There's some pastry here. So you said this is low-fat pastry.
This is reduced fat.
Puff pastry.
Puff pastry.
Okay.
So just cut it into quarters.
Yeah.
These dishes that we're using here today, they're 1 cup dishes. Mine at home are a little bit deeper and a little bit narrower, so you can just place the pastry over the top. With these, I think we might tuck the pastry in. So I think it'll
Just like little
make
blankets.
nice little blankets. So this is
I mean, I sometimes
much
cut
easier to handle when it's just thawed.
yeah. Sometimes I make the perfect circle and you put it in there, and I do double layers, so it sort of pops up like a souffle at the top there.
Well,
which is
actually,
another
I might
idea.
I think I'll leave these out like that
Yeah.
because they
just
fitting.
Yep.
And I like the look of them with the pastry hanging over the edge.
Yeah, it's great.
So you can either bake these without an egg wash, but I think I'll put an egg wash on today.
So we've got 1 egg. I just put a little bit of water in there just to get it going. I've got my fancy little brush.
Just brush them with the egg wash.
Okay, it's going to make it nice and golden, isn't it?
You like using these little silicone brushes, do you?
Do
you think they're better than
Look, I've got both, but I like this just because I think the sort of goes over nicely. I've probably got about 5 at home.
They're good because they're heat-proof too.
Yep.
So if you're brushing meat that's on the barbecue,
Oh, okay.
it doesn't go singe. Like I've
you
ruined
go.
so many brushes from using those bristle ones.
Exactly.
So I just put a couple of little slits in the top. That just lets the steam escape while they're cooking. And these go into a moderate oven,
Yep.
only for about 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
The filling's cooked, so you're just really reheating the filling and cooking the pastry.
Cooking the pastry. All right, I'll put them in the oven and then they'll be ready. Luce, they've been cooking for 20 minutes.
They are.
I'm going to get them for you.
Oh, I can see bubbling
I know,
hot
look at that.
casserole.
Honestly, that's why you make pies, just to see this little bit here bubbling
Yeah,
away,
bubbling
the gravy coming out of it. All right, Luce, then let's have a reveal, see how nice it is inside.
We got to just make sure, you've just got to make sure this is cooled down enough so you don't scald your mouth.
Oh.
You've got a beautiful, saucy pie inside.
Look at the steam. I love this. I love
You've got
just the
gorgeous pastry on top.
theatre of breaking the pastry.
I like to
the
have a
steam
little bit
coming
of
out.
pastry with every mouthful. Yum.
That is fantastic. You think that that's going to be overindulgent, but it's not. It's healthy.
It looks unhealthy, but it's actually really good for you. Lean, casserole underneath, reduced fat pastry, and it's just exactly like the real thing.
Did it again. Thanks, Lucy.